Speaking of not producing, that's exactly what the NHL has been doing as far as increasing their fan base for the past few years when they were on every single channel that nobody cared about, including True TV, NBC Sportsnet, and USA Network. But
The Golf Channel too. They did play playoff games on the Golf Channel.
the National Hockey League played playoff games on the Golf Channel, but to that I say no more. The ESPN and the NHL announced a 7-year deal on Wednesday, returning hockey to ESPN for the first time since 2004. This includes 25 regular season games on ESPN or ABC, early round playoff series, one conference final each year, and 4 Stanley Cup finals on ABC during the duration of this contract. In addition, there's also going to be 1,000 games per season streaming live on ESPN Plus, ESPN networks, and Hulu. NHL.TV is also going to be getting basically shafted by this, and ESPN Plus is going to get a huge boost as all of the NHL app stuff, all of the NHL premium packages are going to be shifted over to ESPN Plus. So they've gained a lot of the capital, a lot of the streaming rights to these games. Again, a 7-year deal worth $2.8 billion. It's also worth to note that there are still, I believe, a few hundred games and some rights to playoff series as well that are still being negotiated. Those deals will either be done with CBS or NBC, who is the incumbent, and we'll see what that is. But the NHL accomplishing a lot of stuff with this deal, getting a lot of much-needed money and exposure. That's the biggest thing. They have missed out on exposure in the past few years, and they're going to get it with ESPN. Ben, what do you make of this?
I love hockey, and I want more people to watch hockey. Um, if that takes ESPN becoming a major hub for hockey, fine. I mean, look, you got to grow the game somehow. It's a fun sport. There is nothing in the world like playoff hockey. I know we got March Madness starting next week.
Maybe.
No, we're having it. We're gonna have March Madness. We're not doing that again. No way. But I mean, there's really nothing in the world like playoff hockey. And look, if ESPN's able to do this well, like no glowing puck, none of that crap. But I look, it's going to help them too because it brings in a new audience. Hockey audiences are very niche, and there are a lot of hockey watchers that really only watch hockey as their only sport. So you bring in a whole new audience with that, and it's going to fill some more time on other ESPN broadcasts where they can talk about hockey now. So because now ESPN actually has a stake in hockey, and they should care about it and dedicate time on their shows to it. So I mean, look, that's a big plus for them.
Barry Melrose was the only reason I even knew hockey was a sport, and I am so thankful that he's probably going to be back for some of the commentary and analysis on this. He's like absolutely one of the best analysis guys in sports, and but so it's going to be good to hopefully see him back. But this deal is huge, and you hit on a point there where you said that hockey can be a niche sport. I don't think that's completely true. Like, I think the reason it's been a niche sport for so long, and there's only hockey fans who watch hockey and only hockey, is because it hasn't had the exposure in so long that it probably needed to grow. Like we said, when you're on True TV and then the Golf Channel, there's only so much you can grow your base. But when you're on ESPN, when ESPN's going to be pushing this hard, probably, like, they're just going to be like, look, hockey, like, in your face, on your phone all the time. So they're going to be able to actually grow their base off that. But hockey, honestly, to me, is a sport that I think it's actually pretty easy for people to get into if they're aware of it. Because that's what happened to me. Like, I call me a bandwagoner, but in 2018, I started rooting for the Capitals during their playoff push that year, and that was the year that they went out and won the Stanley Cup. And when you actually have a chance to watch a game, like just sit down and watch a game, you get into it. It's a fun sport because it's constant action. There's the threat of a potential fight, which I think a lot of people love to see. Less so than in years past. We realize that, but still, we love the potential for a little bit of rabble rousing. but also like it's a sport that kind of like soccer in a way. The scoring when it happens, it's extremely exciting because you realize it can be difficult to score a goal every now and then. You don't see teams scoring like 10 goals a game. That's not what happens in hockey. No, no, no. But it's going to be a big deal, I think, for fans, and the sport of hockey is going to be better for this deal. And I think it kind of broadens the argument, or broadens our discussion rather, to this idea of streaming, because we've seen, we're seeing now with this deal in ESPN and in the NHL, and we've seen with the NFL and Yahoo and teaming up with Amazon as well to stream some games on Thursday nights and what have you. Like, I think we're seeing that the need to put games on like just these national networks, or these network, or on network television to begin with, are becoming less and less important. The more valuable thing to the sports leagues are getting it in front of people through streaming. And I think that's going to be that's going to play a huge part, obviously, when the NFL renegotiates their deals, when the NHL renegotiates their deal, or sorry, no, when the NBA probably renegotiates their deals. I think these things are going to play a big deal because we're probably going to see the NBA on Paramount Plus. We're probably going to see, like the NFL like all over Yahoo, and it already is. Like you can already stream all your local and primetime games on the Yahoo Sports app. So I think that's kind of the future we're going to, and I think it's gonna be good for sports in general. I know that there's apparently though still some people who see it as a downside, but I think the only people who actually see it as like a bad thing are people who either work for like these networks and are pushing that kind of stuff, or they're people who just don't understand the gravity or the reach of these streaming platforms.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the whole ESPN Plus thing. I mean, they're bringing in, all these cord cutters or whatever you want to call them. I'm still a cable guy. I'll always be a cable guy through and through. But the other element here is I've always said Gary Bettman has done a terrible job at publicize. I don't know if the word is publicizing or just, I mean, just growing the game as a whole. Like he's not an opportunist at all. Like there will be games where, in the playoffs, instead of doing like a game at 3:30 and then a game at 7, he'll put like 2 games at 7. So it's like, well, we can't just have a full day of hockey. You have to pick one. Then there was the thing with not letting the NHL players go to the Olympics the other year. I mean, there's just been so many missteps, and I feel like this is finally a step in the right direction for them. And I mean, it seems like everybody inside ESPN is just like thrilled about this. I mean, it's more money for them. It's another sport they get to cover. Because I mean, let's be honest, they just wrote it off before. Like it's not something they even dedicated time to. But yeah, I mean, it's a big deal. And now I'm just wondering like who's going to be calling games for them? Like what announcer team are they going to be rolling out? Are they going to have Barry Melrose working like Stephen A. Smith hours, where he's going to be the color guy for a game, and then they're going to have him in studio the next day? Like,
dude, if ESPN was smart, they would just give the keys to the ship to Barry Melrose. Thanks for watching this video from Real Take Sports Talk. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also, remember to check out our live show every single Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. And remember, keep it real.